go down memory lane as well. And was it not appropriate this morning when you woke up and the fog rolled into Baltimore? Huh? I was waiting for Tony to run outside my house with Marty Dombrays and kick the winning field goal. But we're gonna meet the players right now. We've got a lot of time, a lot of things that we're gonna share with you tonight, including this afternoon, including some video of those magical 3 years. But right now, let's introduce this parade of champions that we know as the 1975, 76, and 77 Baltimore Colts. One of the coaches on this great coaching staff from Ted Marchibroda, the defensive coordinator for Colts that year. During those years, the Colts won 3 straight East Division crowns from 1975 to 77. Please welcome Maxie Vaughn.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest was a defensive back drafted by the Colts out of Morgan State. He spent time with the team during the years 1976 to 79. Please welcome Tim Baylor.
Oh, how about the song, huh? Where's John Seaman? We love you. Our next guest, number 66, came over from the San Francisco 49ers, a guard. He played with the Colts from 73 to 77. Please welcome offensive guard Elmer Collette.
And now you know why we asked to clear the center aisle, because if not, this guy will clear it for himself. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a former Pro Bowler and All-Pro from Duke University. He played with the Baltimore Colts from 1965 to 1975. Please join us in welcoming linebacker Mike Pettis.
The Mad Dog from Rockville, Richard Montgomery High School. Oh yeah, number 32. Who once clotheslined a fan when he ran on the field at Memorial Stadium. He said, "Hey, it's illegal to do that. I was just upholding a city ordinance." Mike Curtis, welcome back. Next up was the gentleman who replaced John Unitas at quarterback, and I guess Doug DeCince knows how he feels, huh? Because he replaced Johnny U. He was the backup quarterback to Burt Jones on that team. Also was the holder on that famous Tony Linhart kick. He played from the Colts from 72 to 75. Please welcome out of Columbia University quarterback Marty Dombrays.
Next up, we see him around town quite a bit. Former Pro Bowl defensive back. He was a first-round draft pick of the Colts out of Syracuse University in 1973 and stayed here in town until 1980. Please welcome defensive tackle Joe Ehrman.
Number 76 in your program. Now an assistant football coach at Gilman, along with head coach Biff Poggi and Stan White, who we will meet in just a few minutes. And Joe, of course, made his home here in the Baltimore area. Our next guest returned a kick for a touchdown against the Raiders in 1977. He came from the University of Houston. He was a member of the Colts team from 75 through 78. Speed was the name of his game. Please welcome wideout Marshall Johnson. To our generation of football fans, and I mean the guys like myself, 50 years old, he was our Johnny Unitas, the Ruston Rifle, number 7. He, of course, is from LSU, All-Pro in a lot of ways, certainly on the field. The 1976 NFL Most Valuable Player, first-round draft pick in 1973, number 7, Burt Jones.
Next up, an 8-time Pro Bowler from the University of Notre Dame. He played with the Colts from 1975 to 1980. Here he is. Please welcome George Goose.
There were a lot of players on this team, and certainly Coach Ted Marchibroda that will tell you that the Colts went from a good team to a great team when number 75 came over from the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome back, George. It's great seeing you. Our next honoree is also a guy who made his home here in the Baltimore area. He was one of my favorite players and a lot of yours as well. He came all the way from that giant football powerhouse of American International College. He joined the team in '72 as a rookie, was a tremendous member of the defensive backfield. Please welcome number 40, Bruce Lair.
You got it right. He kicked his way into our hearts, and he's here with us today. A two-time Pro Bowler, and in 1976, he was the NFL's leading scorer. He played with the Colts from 1974 to '79, and after a successful soccer career in Austria, please welcome kicker Tony Linhart.
I joke with Tony all the time. We see Tony all over the place, and man, he made a nice living out of one kick, didn't you, number 2? Yes, he did. That ball kick will remain one of the great moments in Baltimore sports history. And this gentleman, one of the classiest gentlemen that we have ever witnessed and had a chance to get to know in our time here in the Baltimore area. He coached in Baltimore not one, but twice. He is the head coach of the Baltimore Colts from 1975 to '79. He also, as we just said, coached the Ravens in the mid-1990s, was their first head coach when Mr. Modell moved the team here from Cleveland, and was the architect of that wonderful team that we now watch with some great draft picks in Ray Lewis and in Jonathan Ogden. Please welcome Ted Marchibroda. And guys, you talk about a draft. Epitome of class and the epitome of professionalism, Ted Marchibroda.
Next guest, a former #1 first-round draft pick of the Colts out of the University of North Carolina. He played 11 seasons with our beloved Baltimore Colts from '71 to '81. He still got it. Running back, Don McCauley.
Number 23 from North Carolina, Don McCauley. Man, what a 1-2 punch in that backfield with Lionel Mitchell. Don, welcome back. 19, as John said, one of the first round draft pick from Joe Thomas. We'll talk about Joe a little bit later, but our next guest, Bert Jones, gave him the ultimate compliment. He said, I had one center in my 10 years here in Baltimore, and we never, ever had a mistake in the handoff from center to quarterback. He was played his college football at Oklahoma, was the center from the Colts from 1971 through '80. Please welcome back number 57, Ken Mendenhall.
All right, here's a guy who needs no introduction, but he needs plenty of warmth and welcome. We have him here with us, our next guest. He went to Penn State. He was selected to the 3 Pro Bowls during his professional days. He was a member of our Colts from 1972 to '77. Please welcome back running back, Lionel Mitchell.
And Lionel was our generation's Lenny Moore, our generation's backbone of the running game, along with Bert, Roger Carr in the offensive line, Ray Chester, and number 26. It's great having you back. If you ever want to see Lionel, show up every day on anytime from 11 to 4 at Forest Park or Carroll Park or Clifton. You play around and golf with him. Lionel Mitchell, number 26. Our next honoree was another high draft pick from the Ravens. I mean, from the Colts. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Hey! Come on now. Hey, I haven't mentioned Bob Ertz yet. That's a good thing, right? Thank you. He played collegiately at Vanderbilt. Before joining the Colts, he played in Baltimore from 1974 through '80. Please welcome back number 30, cornerback, Doug Nettles. In Muncie, and gave along with Bruce Lair, the Ravens defensive secondary, just an outstanding cornerback. Our next guest made Baltimore's home for a while. He came from the big football powerhouse of Carson Newman. He wore number 54, and then he went on to coach the football team down at Bowie State College. Please welcome back Sanders Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest played with the Baltimore Colts from 1975 to '77. He's a member of the University of Louisville Athletic Hall of Fame. Please, a warm Baltimore welcome, running back, Howard Stevens.
Number 27, great kick returner in the mid-1970s. Again, makes his home here in town, very visible around town and a lot of NFL alumni functions. And we're certainly glad number 27's here. Our next guest, rock solid tackle for the Colts. I'm sorry. Came from Catawba College in North Carolina. He played from the Colts from 1973 through 79. Number 64, David Taylor.
Former All-American for the University of Michigan, and during his time with the Baltimore Colts, he morphed into an NFL All-Pro and 3-time Pro Bowler as well. Please welcome safety Rick Volk.
At number 21, like number 32, Mike Curtis, they still look like they can play. And they, of course, were members of the 1971 Super Bowl V Colt Championship team. And Rick made his home here in the Baltimore area. Both of his kids played high school sports at Lock Raven High School. We are glad Rick Volk is with us today. Last but certainly not least, one of the most valuable members of the Colts defense. He played linebacker for the Colts from 1972 to 79, came from Ohio State, a member of our Ravens broadcast team on WBAL, and he was the last player picked in the 1972 NFL Draft. Please welcome back Stan White.